I had a job to do. That's why I was there. I had over 60 soldiers ready to act on my command. Pilate had ordered me to proceed, and I did. My job was to kill prisoners, and through the years, it had become routine. That Friday began as just another day. From the courtyard to the site of the crucifixion, I ordered my men to be alert. We never knew when a friend of one of the prisoners would try to stake a last-minute rescue. But that would not happen today. My men and I prepared for a long vigil, waiting for the men on the crosses to finish dying. It was a slow process. We could have gone home earlier if the type of death ordered had been different. But another crucifixion it was. We settled in and began to relax after struggling with two of the prisoners. But now we were certain there would be no escape. In fact, the third prisoner hadn't struggled at all. As we waited for the ordeal to proceed, it was this man who captured my attention. Of all the men I had killed, he was different. His pained expression soon gave way to a type of serene trust. Even when he moved his head, even when the thorns tore deeply into his brow, he spoke no word of complaint. I had seen grown men scream in agony, but not this one. I flinched. Something I never did. I kept staring at his hands and his feet and noticed the nails tearing larger openings in his hands and his feet. I wondered how any man could endure that type of pain. Suddenly, my trance was broken by the sound of this man's voice. It was a prayer. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. What? I absolutely knew what I was doing. I was following Pilate's orders. I briefly checked the other prisoners to see how much time was left, but I was drawn back to the torn body on the center cross. I looked at the seamless garment that covered his broken body. And even as I heard my soldiers rolling dice to see who would get it, I couldn't believe that, in spite of all he had been through, it had not been torn. Then, I remembered the ancient law that forbids the robe of a high priest from being torn for any reason. This man's was soiled with blood and sweat, but there had not been one tear. What could this mean? I watched as my soldiers gave him sour wine to mock his thirst. Then I spotted the plaque that had been fixed to his cross. The word meant Savior. They had said he was the Son of God. He had been mighty in his weakness before the Roman judge. He had shown power in his crucifixion. Was this cross his throne? Were those thorns his crown? Could he really have saved himself? Then why hadn't he? I stood closer to get a better look. But suddenly, all was dark. Breaking through the dark was this man's triumphant voice, and he cried, "It is finished. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit." Just then, the earth shook, and then all was quiet. What had just happened to him at my command? What had just happened to me? I couldn't understand his cry of victory. Had I heard him right when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do"? Had he said, "Forgive them," or "Forgive him"? Was he talking about me? And there, on that lonely, crowded hill, I had become changed. And I knew, truly, this was the Son of God.